Monaco has come and it has gone, and I am here to give my thoughts and comments on the weekend. F1 has finally been given the broadcasting for Monaco, and it was so much better. Thank you, Monaco, for finally relenting and giving F1 the broadcasting for your race. And Seb was in Monaco as well. Just for the Friday, but he was there and he sent F1 social media into a freaking meltdown. And he still hasn't got a freaking haircut. It was great to see him back around though, even if it was just for one day. And can I speak about the weather? Because my god, the rain caused chaos. Absolute chaos. They were all crawling around on dries in the wet before they all changed to the inters. Sainz slid off. Verstappen almost hit the wall, well I think he tapped it. Leclerc had a very nice save catching a slide at Nouvelle. Magnussen hit the wall while trying to make it back into the pit lane after Haas left him out on slicks in the rain for whatever reason, but it did not work. We had overtakes as well. At Monaco, we had some pretty good overtakes both in the dry weather and in the wet weather. We move on. Down at Red Bull, the engineers will probably be lobbying for the cranes at Monaco to be removed after the entire world and the rivals got a pretty good look at their floor. I genuinely wonder how many of the other teams have engineers studying that image of the Red Bull floor. But while Checo bottled it at turn 1 in Q1 in the exact same way as Alex Albon did in practice and went on to have an absolute mare in the race, like no joke, he was just nowhere, and well, stuck in traffic, but you get my point. Things were better on the other side of the garage for Max anyway, with an insane final sector in final quali lap for Verstappen. The guy was 2/10 down after sector 2 and he found just under 3/10 in the final sector alone. He came out of nowhere and I gotta hand it to him. That was one hell of an effort from him in Q3. Big respect from me to him. And I gotta hand it to him on his run on the mediums as well. He went 50 plus laps on those mediums that Pirelli said the limit of was around 42. Mega management from him to be able to go that long and take the win. He's got a 39-point lead now in the championship after Paris. It's a disaster this weekend. Now I know we still have 16 races to go, but Checo has got a mountain to climb in that title fight. He needs to win one of the next races to get himself back into the hunt, or else I fear Max is gonna run away with it. Verstappen could have a disaster weekend that like Checo sometime in the next few rounds, but that does not happen often. I hate to speak about Ferrari, okay, and rant again. Seriously, why is there always something to rant about with Ferrari? And before I start ranting, I will mention that I really liked Charles' special race suit, which had matching boots and gloves of course, and the special design for his number. And I really liked the Monaco edition cap and t-shirt that was released, and I actually bought the t-shirt. And he had a special race helmet as well that was matching in design with his brother Arthur's helmet in F2, and both helmets were paying tribute to their late father. And I like the design of both of Leclerc's helmets. And a small thought before I get into speaking about the penalty and my mini rant, does the Monaco curse even exist? Or was it just bad luck for Arthur this year and for Charles in 2017 and 2018, then the last few years it's just been Ferrari getting something wrong that's made things go even more wrong for the Monegasque? But the penalty, look, yes, it is clear he impeded Norris. It is clear to everybody that that happened. However, he should not have been penalised with a grid drop. And the reason why I think that is because he did everything he could to avoid impeding with the information that he had. And the fact that Norris was pushing behind him was not information he had in that moment. The stewards even highlighted this in their decision document, stating that both drivers had agreed there was little Leclerc could have done in the tunnel to avoid it. Corner in a corner, it's dark, and they said that he had reacted in a sensible way to a blue flag being displayed by the marshals, though it was too late. And on his onboard you can see Charles looking in his mirror when he gets to the tunnel, but at that point Norris isn't there yet. The stewards also said that they noted from the radio that the team failed to give him any warning about Norris until the impeding had already happened. They basically said it wasn't exactly his fault he impeded Norris, and it was in fact the team's fault, yet they still penalised Charles. They should not have given him a grid drop. It should have been a fine for the team because this one was on them. I'll move on from my ranting, but before I do, I just want to highlight this tweet here from Sarah, and she's absolutely right. If you don't know Kane, Leclerc's race engineer Xavi is often receiving criticism by fans. When bad calls happen, people are usually pointing the finger at him, the guy communicating with Leclerc during the races. But yes, be annoyed if you want, by all means. There's no need to be sending any hate his way, because as Sarah says here, it's been pointed out by Leclerc himself, the issues are with the pit wall itself and how it works. There are things that will be going on in the background during races and sessions that we, the fans, do not know about and do not get to hear. I am not defending him, and he can make improvements on the way he communicates things to Charles, but I just wanted to mention this because there's no need to be sending hate or anything his way, or anyone's way. Don't be a dick, is what I'm saying. With that being said though, Leclerc still did a mega final lap in Q3 to put himself into that P3 spot. The penalty was just unfortunate and no doubt cost him the podium in the end, but it is what it is. I'm not sure what happened to Sainz though. He was mega on Friday, right up there in babe sessions, but then it seems like after his FP2 crash, he wasn't quite as there, or the car wasn't quite as there, I don't know. Especially in qualifying, he seems to be struggling a bit more. Then a bit of a stupid mistake, I'd say, from him when he hit Ocon down at Nouvelle, and he was not happy after the race or during it, mainly about the strategy he was given to pit for the mediums when they did. I mean, but I can see why they pit him when they did, because Hamilton was setting some pretty good times on his new hard, so it makes sense to me to pit Sainz when they did. So in an effort to get Ocon, they don't get undercut by Hamilton, you know? But sure, it was not the best race for Ferrari. We now know the SF23 ain't so good in the wet. It's clear they have got a lot to improve this car, and they hopefully will be as the races go on. And looking back, it's easy to say when the rain came, Leclerc or Sainz should have boxed earlier than they did, right about when Ocon and the Mercedes boxed. But it shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's one of them things that with the benefit of hindsight, you do something different, you know? Leclerc has commented after the race, basically that, and added that he had no regrets about their strategy choices. And at the end of the day, at least they both scored points. I know Ferrari expects more than just points, but given the team they are, but I like to find the positives. And another small positive, for the first time in his racing career, Charles Leclerc had a problem-free race at Monaco. It ain't much, but hey, it's something. One final closing thought on Ferrari, I would recommend Charles to stick to the driving and the music. I love that he was able to pull the piss out of himself for going arse over tit though. Even Ferrari joined in the party. Mercedes of course brought their big upgrade package, and they were gonna bring it to Imola before it got cancelled. Now, I will say, a very ballsy move to bring it to Monaco. Not sure it's what I would have done, but I suppose they probably had no choice but to bring it, but they finally have side pods. And, well, in FP3, Lewis Hamilton really was flying. Literally. I think they might be joining Red Bull in lobbying against those cranes as soon as they've gone down what Red Bull's floor is all about. They did struggle at stages this weekend though, which I suppose isn't anything new going off of recent seasons. They've always not been quite as comfortable in Monaco. And okay, they weren't as so bad in the race actually. As I said before, Hamilton was setting really good lap times on his new hards after he pit, and he got the fastest lap of the race, and it was a good call for the Mercedes to leave Russell out on the hards until the rain hit as well. And on the whether the car should have swapped thing, I can see both sides of the coin on why they didn't swap their cars to let Russell have a go at Ocon, because on the one hand, they should have, because Russell was at one stage in that inter period quicker than Hamilton, and he could have been on for a podium if he could get past Ocon and drive out the gap with the penalty. If he couldn't get him, then Hamilton gets the place back with from the penalty. But on the other hand, our attacking at Monaco is very difficult, so I can see why they didn't do it. Elsewhere, I gotta give credit to Alpine. They really turned up this weekend. Ocon and Gasly were both quick all weekend, and they really maximized the weekend, and they were rewarded with a podium for Ocon. And congrats to him for that podium. The first Frenchman on the podium at Monaco since Olivier Panis in 1996. He managed his race and the pressure he was under from Sainz behind him brilliantly. And elsewhere with McLaren, I really like their special livery they ran. It's better than their normal livery if you ask me. And credit to them where it's due. They had a really good weekend. They've been up there in the midfield and they managed double points. So credit where it's due to them. However, I am wondering if they, specifically Lando Norris, and also Fernando Alonso down at Aston Martin, have been taking strategy advice from one team at Marduk. If you saw the Creator Series race at Imola on the F1 game the other week, you will know what I am talking about. If only Alonso had gone to the Inters when they pitted and when the rain was kind of starting, he could have been on for a good shot, either undercutting Verstappen or being very close to him after he pitted. I gotta mention, though, Alonso was mega all weekend, especially in qualifying. I have no comments on Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri, Williams, or Haas, by the way. That's been my review overview of the 2023 Monaco Grand Prix and the goings-on of the weekend. What did you think of the Monaco Grand Prix? And if you watched the Indy 500, what were your thoughts on that race? And congrats to Joseph Newgarden for winning the Indianapolis 500, by the way. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.